Today we're taking another look at Bitcoin, performing some technical analysis and making some predictions on where we can expect to see Bitcoin go in the near future. Let's get into it. Welcome back into the Bitcoin chart, guys. If you'd like to buy some Bitcoin or want some free Bitcoin, there are a couple of links down in the description of today's video. And if you've been following my TikTok, you would have seen that we have managed to break out of the downtrend we've basically been in since the 28th of March, and that was only just on the 19th of July. Obviously a very positive sign. We managed to get up to a high, and that was $24,280 so far. Right now we have dipped down and we are now sitting at $21,000. Unfortunately, our support point, that 50-day moving average, failed, then followed by the 20-day moving average shortly after the fact. But what we're seeing right now is not too uncommon. After breakouts, typically what we see is a retest of that downwards trending line, and it's looking like that has occurred. And at this point in time, based on just purely today's candle, we are possibly seeing a bounce off it, which is what we want to see. Now, unfortunately, we have two things to contest with. Once again, that 20-day and that 50-day moving average. They will be acting as resistance points. If we're able to bounce and get back through those, we should see a cross of that 20-day moving average above the 50-day moving average, which would indicate that in the short term at least, we are now moving in an upwards direction, which is really, really good. But that still remains to be seen. Furthermore, volume-wise, not too much happening. I think people are still very, very uncertain on what is exactly going to occur over the coming few days, weeks, and to be quite honest, months as well, just given the length of time we have been descending. But all in all, it's looking like we could possibly start to see a bit of a channel form itself, something maybe a bit like this, where we start to move upwards. And if we put this bottom end channel line in place, what you'll notice is we are also at the cross section of that point on the chart as well. Let's chuck in our top end. Now, I'd suggest it's probably just about there. You can see we almost broke through it on that day where we hit our high, but unfortunately it failed. But the key here right now is to maintain this upwards trending channel. If we maintain that, what we will see is a healthy increase and decrease, but moving in an upwards direction overall. Right now, what do I think is going to happen? Well, I think we're going to see the bounce. That is pretty evident from the daily chart, but let's go to the hourly just to confirm that fact. And as we start to have a look at the hourly, what you'll notice is we are seeing a flattening out. We haven't actually touched that bottom point just yet, but hopefully that does not need to occur and we can start swooping back in an upwards direction once again. Let's go back to that daily chart now, readjust it so we can see what's going on, and let's have a look at a few other key indicators as well. First and foremost, the RSI. And the RSI, as you would have seen over here on the 18th of June, and just prior to that as well, was oversold. We hit a low of 20.36, so quite significantly below the 30-point mark. Since that point in time, we've basically been rising and got to a high on the 19th of July of 61.47, after which point we saw consolidation starting to occur and we've dipped down below 44.71. Now this is good because we do have room to then continue moving in the upwards direction, and you notice the pattern that's forming itself. It's a bit like this. We should be right now at the bottom of that pattern based on where we're seeing the inflection of the RSI start to move back up, and we're at the bottom end of the channel. So that is showing me that ideally we should now see a bounce and a movement upwards once again. Let's have a look at the MACD. Now the MACD is at an interesting point. You can see that that 12-day EMA is getting very, very close now to the 26-day EMA. If we saw a cross of that occur, we could possibly see a dip out of this upwards trending channel and maybe even back into this overall downtrend. Now, we don't want to see that occur, and basically the next 24 to 48 hours are going to determine where we're headed within the next few weeks. And that is because we are at that very bottom end and the MACD is about to cross, and it's a big indicator for traders to either get in or get out based on the direction of the cross. And this for us right now is showing that we could be seeing a negative cross. Ideally, what we want to see is a rejection of the 12-day EMA on the 26-day EMA, and for it to quickly swoop back in an upwards direction. Hopefully though, we do start to see some buying volume come in and we see that bounce occur. Otherwise, I don't think we are going to maintain this channel, and I think we could possibly drop back into this overall downtrend. But based on what we're seeing overall at the moment, I don't think that is going to occur at this point in time. Right now, this upwards trending channel appears, in my opinion, to be relatively textbook in the sense that we're testing the overall downtrend again. We've started forming a nice upwards trending channel. We're not seeing any massive movements upwards or downwards either, which is showing that the growth we're seeing is relatively stable and it is not all over the place. We're not seeing people buy a ton just to, make a quick sale and get back out. We're seeing a healthy movement upwards. Ideally, as I mentioned previously, a cross of that 20-day moving average above the 50-day would be a big indicator that we are now starting to recover. Is this the bottom of the overall market? I'm not too sure. We've been descending since all the way over here back in November of 2021. Quite a long period of time, especially for people who probably got into crypto only back in this period, and obviously quite a significant amount of loss. We're at a high at that point of $69,000 and we fell all the way down to that $17,000 mark. So it has been quite a big drop, but as we know, crypto is cyclical and known for these sort of pullbacks. All in all, what is my overall price prediction for Bitcoin? Well, I really want to see a bounce here, and I'm expecting to see that bounce occur, and then we start moving back in an upwards direction to test the top end of the channel. Based on the drawing I've currently put in place, we're looking at a value of about $24,700 when we do bounce. That would be a fantastic outcome at this point in time. We don't want to see necessarily a breakout of this channel. We just want to see healthy movements back upwards, and we want to get away overall from this downwards trending line because that is going to be holding us back overall. As I mentioned, critical points, 20-day and 50-day moving average, getting back above those should allow us to be able to do that. So overall, I'm thinking we're looking pretty good at this point in time. We just need to see the volume come in. That wraps up today's analysis on Bitcoin, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video as well, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.